Mysterious 7 video. Let's see what these motherfuckers tell me.
Fast, man. Alright, let's do this.
God
when
damn.
Jonesboro police arrived for a welfare check on 50-year-old Alyssa Reynolds, they expected a routine call.
See? Shit like that. You see when they do shit like that? When they do shit like that, I fuck with how they do that. Can't even count. Fuck with how they do that. So what's Mysterious 7? It's just the channel, man.
But one breath of that rotting air told them something sinister was waiting to be found behind closed doors.
Police department! Go ahead. Jonesboro Police! Police department! What is that smell? Yeah, I'm just looking to make sure. Yeah.
Little did they know, this seemingly ordinary check would soon unravel into one of the most horrific discoveries of their careers, one that would haunt them forever.
Is it? It's all blood. Oh, God.
Hey, man,
I could tell
no goddamn body.
that it was Alyssa. It was awful.
You could see a lot of stab marks.
Yeah, they got that.
It was a very violent attack.
So they mean they
She
stabbed
fought.
her right there where she was at. On the couch.
It was December 8th, 2019, when police first stopped by Alyssa Reynolds' home for a welfare check, but no one answered. However, when they returned later that night, it was the foul odor that led them to Alyssa in a horrifying state. The officers swept through the house in minutes, but found no one else inside. The discovery, however, was chilling. Alyssa Reynolds slumped on her living room couch, soaked in blood.
Right.
The silence was deafening. The scene screamed of violence.
I was gonna say,
It didn't take long for the local PD to call in homicide. Whatever had happened here, it wasn't an accident. It was evident that the body had been there for several days, already showing signs of decomposition. She was still dressed in her work uniform, her ID badge intact, indicating she had returned home from work before her death. The autopsy later revealed a horrifying truth. She had been stabbed 18 times.
Damn.
With multiple smaller cuts across her
lie.
body.
And then when they say how many, like, I ain't gonna lie, when they give the autopsy on shit like that, it don't be the exact amount of times. I ain't gonna lie, because I don't even think they just sitting there. I mean, they probably is. I don't know the whole goddamn process of how they do the body and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck they count the stab wounds and shit. But I ain't gonna lie, it just, you know what I'm saying? I be really feeling like they just be like a little bit. What's that word with your flu? What's that word? I be really feeling like it's like, you know what I'm saying, just a little bit, like, you know what I'm saying, off kilt, because 18, imagine getting stabbed 18 times, cuz. What's that word with you, JD? Imagine, cuz, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nigga, like, what? Gang, imagine, though. Nigga hit your 18, nigga, 17 times. And then when they say the goddamn body about the body and shit like that, they just say a number. I ain't gonna lie, I don't even think they count the number of stab wounds. I think they just stop at a certain number, gang. I ain't gonna lie. Cause get stabbed 18 times, bruh. Get stabbed 18 times? Gang, what? Is we not think like, bro, that is like, bro, what? That's gotta be the most pain. That shit has gotta be the most painful way to die in GTA 9. That has to be like the craziest way to die in GTA 9. Like, you feel me? Like 18 times, cuz 18. And then when they say the number, I swear I'm telling you, bro, I think they be bullshitting, bro. I really think it'd be more than that. Cause look, and then they say with smaller cuts, you know what I'm saying?
She had been stabbed 18 times, with multiple smaller cuts across her body from slashing motions. The stab wounds were confirmed as the cause of death.
That shit crazy.
Notably, many of the injuries were not inflicted while she was conscious.
So you gotta add in adrenaline and delete like 10 stab.
Already unconscious or dead
when you get to about 17, I know you gonna feel 18 though. You get to about 17, yeah, gonna feel a little woozy, man. Oh God, y'all feeling a little woozy, man. You gonna feel them bitches though. Adrenaline go be rushing for sure, but when you get, we talking about like that's great, bro, that's brutal. That's brutal, gang. That's brutal, that's some brutal shit. I ain't gonna lie, that's probably one of the brutest ways to, you know what I mean, to, take a nigga ass off the, stabbing his ass 18 times. Here go JD to my
suggested a brief and unsuccessful attempt to fight back. According to reports, Alyssa's last confirmed sighting was on December 2nd. Security footage from her workplace showed her leaving at 5:03 p.m. Roughly 35 minutes later, at 5:38 p.m.
I ain't the type of nigga that just gonna hand shit out, you know what I mean? I ain't no handout ass nigga, you feel me? You gotta work, you feel me? You gotta earn shit, you know what I mean? I ain't no handout ass nigga, you know what I mean?
A neighbor saw her in the surveillance camera arriving back at her house. After that, there was no further sighting of her. What happened between December 2nd and 8th would soon become the focus of the investigation. In the meantime, the detectives found out that Alyssa was in contact with various people during her last few days. To check on these leads, the police started their interrogation with Alyssa's friend, Lori Alpe. She would reveal in chilling detail someone had been texting from Alyssa's phone, even days after she was already dead.
When was the last time you talked to her?
Like her person?
Seen her.
Last Friday. We all three met up.
Okay. When was the last time you talked to her on the phone?
Like heard her voice?
Yes.
I haven't.
Hadn't talked to her since? When was the last time you received a text from her?
Oh, so that, okay, that's her friend right there.
All day.
Okay.
All week, we've been suspicious.
He said, the only thing I'm shutting is your lady legs. Yeah,
haven't seen her all week.
Shit.
She has said some things that did sound like her.
I'm telling you, come on, I don't think the friend, come on now. That's her friend. Female, come on now. I ain't gonna lie. Crazy. It might be a crazy female out there, but I ain't gonna lie. I don't think the friend gonna stab her friend 18 times unless she just fucked on her nigga or some shit like that. But we don't know the, you know what I mean? We don't know the story like that. But I doubt the friend, so we just gonna cross the friend off. We gonna cross the friend off the list for right now though. For right now. But if they come with some new information about what the friend had going on, her ass back up there. But number one, we gonna cross her off the list. Friend. We gonna cross the friend off the list.
Distant.
Cause I don't think, she was just coming home from work, so it had to be the nigga she was fucking with.
100 texts a day. And then this week it's been much fewer. So we've even said, Alyssa, are you okay? Is everything okay?
You say 100, 200 texts. Is that just you and her, or is that
in our group message? Well, it's just me and April and Alyssa in a group message. We text from 6 a.m. If we've not heard from someone at 6 a.m., we assume they're sick. Like Thursday, she said, I've had a mandatory fire extinguisher training pretty much all day. Talk about a headache. Like that. How do you do a training on a fire extinguisher all day long?
Training on a fire extinguisher?
The typical good morning.
What?
We talked about going to church. And here's where we started seeing things were off. We talked about going to church, and then she said, I planned on going, but didn't. I've been worthless today. And then I said, did you do anything yesterday? And she said, no, I was a couch cushion until later, and then had to do dad's stuff. And then later on, she said, well, I'm on my way to my dad's. And
she got some descriptive ass, like.
But it just, so then I started saying, April and I were together at that point, and we thought something was odd, and maybe her friend Dana had called us and said
she got some descriptive ass messages
yesterday.
Like it's leaving pieces
Dana
off
at noon on Saturday.
Because how the fuck you go from a fire extinguisher to you going to your dad's house? What? Like, then you just, what? I ain't gonna lie. We putting the best friend back on the list. I ain't gonna lie. We putting the best friend back on #1 list. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna lie.
Watkins, she's on her way here. She kept putting Dana off and then told Dana that something happened with her dad and that she couldn't come.
Okay. What were they going to do this lady?
Go to Batesville. And she said, I'm on my way back from my dad's now. And I said, but you just said you were being worthless on the couch. I said, do you want me to use for a drink? She said, I'm 15 to 20 minutes away.
Like, come on now.
And then,
how you get from that to your dad's?
Then she said she was stuck behind a wreck. And then 2 hours went by and I called. And
it's like somebody
hung up.
Oh my life! It's like somebody playing on her phone that ain't her, gang. It's like somebody. I got her phone, texting, and cause what? That don't even make sense. These descriptive ass text messages. How you go from you just said you was lazy as hell. Now you just said you on your way to your dad's house. How the fuck? How the fuck? How you gain energy that quick? You must have smoked you a J or something. You must have smoked some sativa. Like, what the fuck? The fuck is we talking about?
My back phone answered and hung up, and then she said my phone's on 1%. And then she said, here I come, and I'm almost there. I'm on Stadium, and that's whenever I said I'm giving her 15 minutes. I'm going to tell her we're sending on a search party, and I'm going to call dispatch.
Lori revealed that the constant plans of meeting and then canceling them right after raised major flags.
I'm telling you, it's like it was somebody else, bro.
Someone who knew Alyssa was using her phone while hiding a dark secret.
And I even said on Tuesday,
fuck all the Fed shit. I really need to be a detective, gang. Not even on no Fed shit. I just really need to be the ones that just look you in your soul and just ask you where you was on the day or the night of this murder type shit. You feel me? Just read like what you got going on in your life type shit on some shit like that. Like how your backstory was on some shit like that. Just really get you, you know what I'm saying? Get comfortable with you in the interrogation room, you know? I just want to, you know, what your background is, you know, on some shit like that.
Quiet.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
And all week it's been, I've just been.
That's probably the only close I get to the pig. I ain't gonna lie. Detective, that shit's great. I ain't gonna lie, being a detective, that shit's great though. Cause you solving shit. You solving shit, but you doing your job. But you also ain't like, I ain't gonna say you ain't arresting niggas cause you for sure putting niggas away. I ain't gonna lie. But you like, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like an interrogator way better than a police officer. I ain't gonna lie. Cause I never have a baton on my hip with a, you know what I mean? You feel me? I just feel like it's two different things. Like police officers and interrogators, like, I don't know, like they got two different jobs. I feel like an interrogator job way more harder than a police job. Police can go out and arrest your uncle right now for drinking on his lawn. But get what they gonna say? He exposed to the public because he ain't got no shirt on, he ain't got no shoes on, he ain't got no pants on, he naked outside drinking. So get what they gonna take your uncle in. Why? They gonna say nudity to the public. But get what? Interrogator gonna come in the room, he gonna talk about what you did Saturday. Nigga, that 3 years could have went by. He still finna talk about what you did on this day. And you gotta remember in your head, like what did I do? Like, I gotta make sure I ain't. So I just feel like the interrogator job, like, way more harder than the police job. Even though it's some type of, you know what I'm saying? It's some type of federal shit going on, like police shit going on. I just feel like I could be an interrogator. I ain't gonna lie. I could be an interrogator. I couldn't be no police officer though, man. I couldn't be no, you know what I mean? I couldn't, woo! I just don't, you know, I don't fit the criteria, you know? I might let a nigga ass go. Like, I might let a nigga ass go. Now, murders, I ain't gonna lie, murderers, that's kind of different, though. That's kind of different. But I might fuck around and let a nigga go. Nigga might arrest him for he got pounds in the back of his shit. You got pounds in your shit, OG? That's how it be. You got pounds in your shit, OG? Don't even trip, man. I'll let your ass go. Just give me just serve me a little salt. Oh, God, nigga, fuck it. Anyway, let's get back into this shit.
Watching Hallmark, which she does that. Things have just not felt right.
But now I'd rather be an interrogator all day, every day, though.
Her behaviors.
I couldn't be no police officer.
And then especially whenever everyone started talking
know.
about it.
After hearing from Lori, detectives turned to another person who might offer more insight into what had happened to Alyssa, Dana Watkins, one of Alyssa's closest friends. Dana had also been the first to sense that something was wrong.
Where do you fit in this picture?
I'm the one that figured out something was messed up today.
Oh, so that's Dana.
She and I also go dates yesterday.
Oh, so that's her other friend.
She said she'll come to my house. And 12:03, she texted me and said,
Dana
hey,
and Lori.
I'm getting my dad's meds ready, but I'll be there as soon as I get them done. Because she puts pills in her dad's box for me every week or something. And I said, that's fine. I'm putting on my makeup and I'm not in any rush. Well, I was tooling around the house, and next thing I know, it was 1 o'clock. And I thought, that's not 12-ish. And so I texted her, I said, are you on the way? And she said, I'm leaving the house right now. And I sat there for about 10 more minutes. I said, if you don't get here in 15 minutes, we're going to be late. And I had called her at some point, and it always goes to voicemail. After I waited about those 10 more minutes, she texted me, and it's this big long text that says, hey, I was on my way, but I'm on the phone with my dad. he was acting funny, and so I finally got it out of him that he's he's hurt his hip. And so I'm turning around to go to my dad's, and he lives like in Cherry Valley or something. And I won't be able to take Batesville with you, I'm sorry. I'm gonna take him this Thursday to the doctor just to make sure. And of course, all these things I'm thinking today, you would have brought him to Jonesboro closer, probably. So anyway. So supposedly they were filling out paperwork and going to get the hell out of there, according to the text. Again, no, she'll never answer the phone or anything. Last night, and that next morning, I said, "Are you alive?" Because I was waiting. She just never responded to me or the other girl.
While Alyssa likely lay dead in her home, someone was using her phone, fabricating an elaborate story.
I can't make this shit up, man. Did I not just say that?
Every unanswered call, every suspicious text message raised.
Did I not just say that? I kid you not, gang. Sign me up right now. I'm willing I'm willing to work. Just don't put me in no goddamn car with a pig and donuts. Hey, just put me in it. Hey, 4 walls. I talk to him. See what I can get out the story. If they don't want to talk, I might put his ass in the head like Vin Diesel did on Fast and Furious 6. Okay? Done deal. I ain't gonna do no problem with him now. Just interrogator, I'm telling you now, interrogator is way better than like police and shit. Like, I just feel like you know more information. Like, police get there and they gotta wait on the investigator. You feel like they gotta wait on me, nigga. I'll run this shit. I get to tell y'all, yeah. It's not looking good, boys. Yeah, man, she's probably been dead for about 2 or 3 hours, man. I don't know. You gotta wait on me to tell you shit. Alright.
Alarms, but by then, it was already too late.
About 12-ish, she finally said, well, I ended up, or who was the person? I ended up cooking breakfast when she don't cook. And then I went out and got some groceries for my dad made soup. Even though it wasn't very good, I made the soup. So then at that point, so then I messaged her sister, Alyssa's sister, on the thing, and I said, have you heard or talked to your sister? Because I thought if the dad fell yesterday, she would have found her.
Right.
No, not in about a week.
Like that.
I mean, we all just started comparing stories, because at this point, this person is texting it from her phone, from Alyssa's phone, up until about 2:45 today. But at some point, she would try to call, because I was like, I want to hear your voice. She called, her number called me, nothing. It's her real number, her personal number, the same one that's texting me all day. Then she immediately texts and says, well, I dropped my phone and apparently no one can hear me. And then she goes down the road. She does that to her sister. She does that to April, to everywhere else. So I just knew, like, it's just not like
y'all is dead ass talking to the killer that killed your best friend. And how's you like, come on, bro. That's just like yesterday when we was watching Catfish Gang, it was just like almost the same shit. Why is you not like, you ain't trying to video call her or nothing? Y'all assuming shit. And it's like, I don't know, man. They assuming shit and I don't know, man.
As Dana and Alyssa's sister compared notes, they realized someone was playing a dangerous game of deception. The killer had made a fatal mistake, creating a story about Alyssa's father that could easily be proven false. The details detectives gathered from those interviews was disturbing enough, but the neighborhood canvas revealed something even more crucial.
Why don't they just go to her father?
The one they reached out to first was Devon Alexander.
What's up, man?
What the fuck is that?
I'm Detective Arnold, Jonesboro Police Department. So, I understand y'all got some cameras. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're all on here.
You notice anything weird over here?
No, I haven't. But I did notice when I was watching these, like, there was a police who came at like 12, and then she came like 20 minutes after he came, and then left, and then another one came. So I don't know.
So what now?
Like, all right, so there was a cop that was here, and then 20 minutes after, she like left.
Who left?
I don't know. Somebody. She drives a Range Rover, and it shows a Range Rover on here.
Okay.
Like, I'm looking at them.
Did you see them driving?
No. And like the thing is, like when I was coming home from work, I saw the Range Rover like by me, but like this has nothing to do with this, but like.
Yeah, let me make sure you black for real, cause niggas be black, but they be a little washed. They might be a little washed. Let me make sure you really black. Okay, yeah, you got those chicken fingers. Yeah, you got a little texture on your palm right there. Let me see. Yeah, nah, you don't got that shit like I got my shit. Nah, hell no, you ain't, nah. I'm watching you.
One of her neighbors, like her or somebody hit my dent, like the door. That's why there's a dent in it. And so I was just like, we don't like look at each other because I try not to like make her think I'm mad at her or whatever. Okay. And I am, but anyway, so I didn't look who was actually in the car. Right. But like someone was there and they like left like instantly. Okay.
Devon told police his motion camera had recorded Alyssa's car moving several times that week. Alarmingly, he reported seeing the car leave the residence about 20 minutes after the first welfare check. He also mentioned that someone driving Alyssa's car had dented his vehicle a few days earlier. However, he couldn't identify the driver since the car was usually kept in the garage. The evidence pointed to a chilling truth. Alyssa couldn't have been driving, as her body had already been decomposing inside the residence for days. The police struggled to identify a clear suspect. However, Devon suggested that a neighbor's CCTV might have captured something useful.
Seeing who got inside the Range Rover.
Officers approached Mr. David Richard and his wife to review their security footage and interrogate them about anything they might have seen or heard.
Jungle Police Department.
Oh, he said the neighbor. He said them the neighbors of Devon Alexander.
We'll check tomorrow, Jungle Police Department.
David Richard.
How you doing?
David Richard. Nice to meet you.
Yes. You go ahead and sit down.
We hadn't seen Alyssa in a while. Usually, I work out in my yard all the time.
Okay.
And I know the police officer next door, he across the street, he works out in his yard and in his house all the time. Usually, Alyssa comes in the afternoon, like when she gets off work. Well, here, I'm getting old now, man. I can't understand. But it's getting to the point where she had, a few months ago, she had lost her job. I think she got laid off.
Okay.
The neighbor that ditches everybody and hides.
Say
what?
I'm the neighbor that ditches everybody and hides, so I know just enough.
Well, she don't get off.
Black man playing in the snow. That's why I like my boy. Hey, keep doing your motherfucking thing, man. Wake her back in every night, my nigga. I could just tell by the way she playing in the snow. You playing in the snow. Y'all have fun in heavy snow weather, okay? Y'all are doing great, so I'm so proud. Hey, nigga done played in the snow a couple times. Hey, I don't like the cold, okay? Let's get back into the video.
I work the lady anyway. Okay. She don't really know what goes on.
I mean, we've been friendly, you know
right.
what I'm saying. And I don't wish anything bad on anybody. No. I can't give you a whole lot of details of what I'm saying.
And I hadn't seen Alyssa leave or go in a while.
I got to thinking, I'm like, I hadn't seen her or heard nothing from her. And usually I would at least hear the dogs or something.
The dogs always over there barking.
And I told David, I said, it was real weird because just a few days ago when I pulled it, and I don't talk to anybody over here hardly. Right. I mean, I stay to myself.
I understand.
And so I pulled in, and when I was pulling in, waiting for the garage door to open, I looked, and one of those vehicles was over there, the blue one. Mm-hmm. And it was in the middle of the driveway, and I was like, for some reason, I felt like, man, I should go over there and check on her, or I should call somebody. And I don't know why I felt that way. I didn't do it.
After that, Mr. Richard raised a serious concern about Alyssa's dating pattern. One name in particular stood out, Sean Cohn, who was also her current boyfriend.
That dude, I think he might call it.
Sean Cohn?
Sean Cohn, who was also
I thought that she said Sean Cohn. Both for the say what the fuck,
boyfriend.
I'm bullshitting. I'm gonna say Sean Cohn.
What I'm saying is, listen, her choice of guys, she's been thrown. She just ran through them. And all the ones that she can have, they just been things that were nothing. I told her one day, I said, I don't know why you attracting them kind of guys. I said, but you need to get you some new friends or something. Because them dudes that you, half of them don't work. She's always hurt. I don't know.
When was the last time you seen her? Have seen her last 2 weeks or anything?
No.
Okay. Have you seen her cars coming and going?
I seen her car.
Okay. When was the last time you seen her?
The last time I seen her car was I think it was Friday. He was driving.
Okay.
He was pulling up. I was leaving.
Mr. and Mrs. Richard told police they had seen Alyssa's car moving 4 days after she was last seen alive.
Damn.
Even more alarming, their surveillance footage captured something far more incriminating. A black car leaving Alyssa's house on December 2nd, just moments before Alyssa returned home in her white vehicle. According to Alyssa's neighbor, Sean Cohn was someone she was frequently seen with. Naturally, the police wanted to speak with him. But when they tried to get in touch, they realized Sean wasn't in town. In fact, no one seemed certain of his exact whereabouts. While that didn't immediately raise alarms, it did leave detectives with yet another unanswered question. While Alyssa's loved ones grew concerned about the suspicious text messages and her sudden disappearance, they had no idea what had truly happened. The security footage from a neighboring house would later reveal the disturbing timeline of events on December 2nd, the last day Alyssa was seen alive. That evening, Sean Cohn's dark-colored Chevy Tahoe was seen leaving her house shortly before Alyssa arrived home in her white Range Rover at 5:38 p.m. 10 minutes later, Sean returned on foot. At 7 p.m., Alyssa's Range Rover was seen backing out of the garage with Sean behind the wheel. Sean drove to the Elks Lodge in Jonesboro, where he was promptly kicked out due to pending theft charges. After buying beer, he returned to Alyssa's house at 9:59 p.m. What happened inside that night remains known only to him. But evidence suggests Alyssa never left alive after that. Throughout that entire week after December 2nd, Sean was seen multiple times outside, casually driving around in Alyssa's car. Cameras captured him going in and out of the house. What was truly disturbing was that he continued living in the house
with the body still in there. That's fucking weird.
That body lay decomposing just a few feet away.
That's
Alyssa's
weird.
friend Lori had also shared some.
I know you smell that. Like, nigga, you don't smell that? You just chilling with that's what just make it kind of like, it kind of make it like skin crawling, cause my nigga, okay, we know what you did, boom, you did what you did, you killed that shit like that, you stabbed that shit like that. But damn, my nigga, you must just didn't get no fucks. You was walking in and out, you was walking in and out her house, you was driving in and out her car, talking to the neighbors outside. It was almost like that was your crib. Yeah, it was almost like he just don't give a fuck. Like he just don't like nigga just cold, like he just a cold-blooded, like murderer, like nigga just said fuck the body. He just covered it up with some covers. He said fuck the smell. Like, come on, like, bro, that's
settling details about Sean during an earlier interview, details that raised serious suspicion.
And what's her boyfriend's name? Or
Sean Cohn.
It's like time you saw him.
Oh, I've not seen him in weeks.
Okay.
But he was seen Friday at Chili's. And that the girl that saw him, he was in Alyssa's car and on her way here too.
He was by himself?
Yes.
What was that police report picture?
Oh, because he got he dined and ditched from Sumo. And April saw the police report.
Dined and ditched. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy work.
He got drinks and ate and then
left. Oh God.
Are you aware?
I ain't gonna even count. Never mind.
No.
So he's a felon.
You're gonna even put that out though.
Has been out. I don't know exactly.
Dine and drink. Hey, Waffle House is probably the best place you can dine and drink at. I mean, dine and leave. Alright, them niggas don't be worried about shit. They be in the back, chefing up back there, nigga. You get you a little booth in the corner, nigga. But I ain't never did that, no. Nigga, I always had a little $12 for a little all-star meal. Yeah.
But then
Down and this is crazy.
With paying in bills.
Thought about it now.
Paying his
can't lie and say I ain't never thought about it. Looking at
restitution, is that what it's called? She's had to pay that for him. She's kind of financially been supporting him off and on for the last year and a half.
How long have they been together?
Off and on the last year and a half. He was living with her, but then they've been broken up probably 6 months or so. but as we've all been talking, I think that he has been secretly staying there and she just hasn't told anybody. He got a DWI a few weeks ago and then a failure to appear for his court date. I think last week maybe or 2 weeks ago. And then he had this Donna ditch thing. So that kind of hit quick right now, but he is a felon on probation or whatever it's called.
She added some crucial details about Alyssa's boyfriend, Sean, which now nudged detectives to learn more about him.
So it's basically her choice of men. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like her choice in men was not like the right kind of, was not the kind of choice that a woman would, you know what I'm saying, normally make. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounded like. Sounded like she was into niggas like dead weight, I would say. She was into shit like that.
Claims held any weight.
You started telling me about Alyssa's dad.
Okay, yeah. So Alyssa fills this pillbox every Friday.
Okay.
Dad called her, Sean answered and said she's at work. I'm changing the battery in her car. So Dad, he has her garage code in case she's still at work where he can just leave his pillbox in the house. The garage code wouldn't work. This is 2 days ago Friday. Garage code, so he left it outside on the porch. He called back on Saturday and Sean answered again and said that Alyssa was with Dana. And Dana was already, Alyssa didn't show up to meet Dana either.
That's when they were based with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Dad went to the house, the pillbox was filled and sat outside and he picked it up and left.
Sean said he was changing her battery?
On Friday. I did send a text at 4:30.
Today?
When we kept calling and she wasn't answering. And I said, Alyssa, we've checked and you're not in the ER. Your dad's not seeing you near as Dana. This is Sean with her phone. It's a good time to tell the truth. And so,
no reply.
He read that
but
shit,
even
though.
with all this,
I bet you he read that shit, though. Hey, I bet you he read that motherfucker, though. I bet you he read it. Come on, bro. That nigga don't care. It's kind of like he just don't give a fuck. That shit is sad, though. Can't lie. That's kind of fucked up how you just gonna do this to this woman and then still live in her house. Like you just didn't stab her ass up. Like, what the fuck? And her body is slowly, like, turning into skeleton. Like, she turning into the Flying Dutchman right now, my nigga, and you don't give a damn. It's like, what?
Answered. To dig deeper into Sean's mindset, police reached out to someone who once knew him intimately, his ex-girlfriend, Stephanie Fagley. Stephanie and Sean had dated in the late 90s before parting ways. They then reconnected through Facebook in 2013 and eventually moved in together. At the time, Sean was navigating a divorce and legal troubles over boat fraud. Although they broke up in 2017, they stayed in touch. Shockingly, when Stephanie messaged Alyssa about Sean's dine and dash incident, she received a call from Alyssa's number, but it was Sean who answered.
Have you and Sean been in contact since y'all kind of broke off and quit living with each other?
Yeah.
Okay. And how regularly are you in contact with him?
I went almost a year without speaking to him.
Okay.
And he could not handle it to a degree, and then he would contact me. And all my friends are like, stay away from me. You need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm like, y'all don't understand. Like, I'm going to be nice because I don't ever want him having any reason to come. I stayed in contact with him after that because of trying to get my deposit money back, different things like that. Like I said, just trying to stay in good graces.
Oh God, she trying to stay on the good side so he don't come in after her on some shit like that though. Hey, on some shit like that though. She trying to stay on Buddy good side while her friends telling her, hey man, you don't stay away from that weird ass nigga, man. That weird ass nigga, man. Like whole time she probably, bitch, you just don't know. This nigga will kill me. Whole time she probably telling them like, y'all don't know the real. Like y'all looking on the outside and inside. Y'all don't know what hell going on in this bitch. Whole time he probably, you know what I mean? Alright, he crazy about that kitty.
And
Stephanie's testimony revealed a disturbing pattern. She hadn't stayed in touch with Sean out of affection, but out of fear. And that fear now felt horrifyingly justified. She had tried to warn other women about his lies, his manipulation. In hindsight, the drinking, the way he used people for money, none of it was random. These weren't just red flags. They were warning signs of something far more dangerous.
I got a call this morning from my friends, and when she called me, I knew something was wrong because she's never up that early. My head, just went crazy.
What'd she tell you?
That he had, that his girlfriend or the girl he was living with was found dead.
Okay.
And they think that he did it. And that's whenever I was like freaking out.
The morning Stephanie learned about Alyssa's murder,
you thought you was
changed.
next.
All those little red...
You went out, you added deadbolts on your locks. Even though you had deadbolts, you added an extra deadbolt on your locks. You thought you was next. We know. You the ex, but you're not next. Okay. You know.
Flags she had noticed over the years now took on a much darker significance. This wasn't a crime of passion.
There you go,
it was followed by calculated deception.
We got a swimmer
when
bill.
Investigators asked Stephanie about Sean's history of
got a deal or no deal
her
bill.
answer provided crucial context for understanding
he play hella
what
deal
might
or no
have happened
deal.
to Alyssa.
Whammy, no whammy. Oh God.
We got into an argument, and
look like he watched hella Steve Wilkos.
He tried to grab my phone. I was trying to remember the phone. I don't even remember what the argument was about, but he was trying to grab my phone, and I took off with it, and he grabbed me, and I fell in the kitchen and tried to wrestle my phone from me, and he got it, and then he tried to go, and when he did, he hit the
lock.
He was calling, and he was calling my friend. It happened to be her. And I said, "You're calling Gwen, like you're making a phone call right now. And if she does not speak to me, I promise you she will call the police." Like everybody was ready, like everybody knew I was trying to leave and was ready for me to get out of this relationship.
Even more telling was Stephanie's revelation about what Alyssa had told her shortly before her death.
I'm leaving, and...
So Alyssa, did she say anything or mention anything such as them being in a relationship as far as any violent tendencies or anything, or anger issues?
No.
Okay.
She had never mentioned anything like that. She told me that her friends were very fearful for her, but she never mentioned that he had ever been violent with her or anything like that.
She was in touch with the victim too. Even though that was his ex, she was in touch with his girlfriend, the Alyssa girl.
I just know that she had told me, and like she would tell him, "You're a piece of crap," and she told me one of the last things that she said to me is that if somebody's looking for him, I'm going to tell them where he's at. And that's what I'm scared of, is that they got into it, and she said, "I'm telling the police where you are, and he doesn't want to go back to prison, then that must be why he did it."
Detectives later found that someone had been using Alyssa's credit card even after her death.
There were purchases at a local liquor store, purchases at a local restaurant, and purchases at a local store.
Nigga bought an iPad. He bought an iPad. $30 unlimited tablet plan. Gang. This nigga does not give a fuck. Built to Sean Cone. Gang. This nigga got her credit card and bought an iPad for $500. What the fuck?
Sprint dealership.
In the surveillance footage, Sean was seen still wearing the same blue pullover. Store employees even noticed a foul odor coming from him. Sean had used Alyssa's credit card to buy a phone and an iPad, exploiting her even after her death. But that wasn't all. While checking out, Sean casually mentioned to the store employees that he was planning a trip and getting out of town.
I'm coming to Key West sometime.
This wasn't just an offhand remark. It confirmed detectives' worst fears. Sean was preparing to flee.
He knew what he
Then,
did.
on December 9th, 2019, Sean's ex-girlfriend confirmed he had told her he was leaving for Key West.
Then he turned around and got a DUI, and so he's about to go back to prison. And he told me he wasn't going to prison. And I'm like, okay. So he told me that he was leaving, and he just said, I'm not going back to prison. And I was like, you know, I told him, I said, you're crazy to think that you're going to be able to leave the country, first of all. I mean, you have a felony. You're not, but I wasn't going to argue with him. I got, you go to Key West, but I thought he's either going to drink himself to death, he's going to get into some trouble because he likes to gamble, he's going to get killed. You know, I don't think he said, or he'll go back to prison. Like, I mean, that's what I think was going to happen.
And he was already at the airport in Miami. Sean had fled in her Range Rover, which was later found abandoned at Memphis International Airport. By the time this information came through, he had boarded a flight to Key West.
The exact plane that Sean's on. And that short flight seemed like it took forever. The Monroe County Sheriff's Department had deputies at the airport. They had all the information, they had this picture, they had the warrant.
Nigga, they good.
Authorities arrested Sean on the tarmac in Key West before he could even enter the terminal.
Last paragraphs of the waiver of your rights. I read the statement of my rights, and I understand what my rights are.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Imagine getting caught when you about to flee, nigga. You about to enter the terminal. Get your ass over here. Oh, shit. You seconds away from entering the terminal. All you hear is, Jonesboro Police Department, don't move. Boy, yeah, gonna freeze up like a popsicle, bitch.
I'm willing to make a statement and answer questions. I do not want a lawyer at this time. I understand what I'm doing. No promises or threats have been made to you, and no pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me.
It's getting a little cold in this bitch.
Initial right there. So,
cold.
Well, I'm not answering questions about my attorney.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
shit, nigga, yeah, gonna do the fuck, right?
Still initial these and not that.
Whatever you want to do. So are you saying you want your attorney here?
Yes.
Okay, you're done.
Because I don't even know details.
Tight shit.
I've not even been told anything.
Well, that's what we were going to talk about, but I couldn't really talk to you about it without that, so.
I'm not talking with attorney.
You go ahead and end this at 8:37. They'll escort you back.
We were able to search his backpack, and in that backpack, besides cash, was a list of countries with non-extraditionary treaties with the U.S. And Cuba was handwritten and circled. He was planning on going to Cuba from Key West.
The case against Sean Coe moved quickly after his extradition from...
Hey, he tried to get up out the jams. He tried to get up out the jams.
Florida. The evidence against him was overwhelming. Not only had he murdered Alyssa with multiple puncture wounds to her face, hands, and arms, but he had also carefully cleaned the crime scene and disposed of evidence. He had stolen her car, phones, and financial cards, using her resources to fund his escape. And there were other witnesses. Before fleeing to Florida, Sean had also met with friends Donnie and Gina Tilton, even showing them his list of countries he was considering for escape. When questioned about his relationship with Alyssa, he downplayed it, calling her just a nice person who let him rent a room. But the message history between Alyssa and Sean told a different story. In their final exchanges around 11 p.m. on December 2nd, Alyssa had clearly had enough. She was calling Sean out on his behavior after the restaurant incident. She wanted him to turn himself in. She wanted her life back, and him out of it. These were likely the last authentic messages from Alyssa before Sean took over her digital identity for the next week. Whether he killed her that night when he returned home drunk, or murdered her as soon as she confronted him, we may never know for certain. Sean's claim about finding the back
door while you're out, the longer it's going to be. You should go turn yourself in.
Door kicked in, and Alyssa, already dead, fell apart immediately.
You have no more help from me. It's time to deal with your own consequences.
The door hadn't been damaged until police arrived to check on her. He admitted.
I have nobody else. Yeah, nigga would have said that. Yeah. Yeah, had the military waiting on his ass. Soon he popped through the door, man.
He never reported finding her body because he feared no one.
You lied to me daily. You don't have me now. I'm tired of being used and feeling like I'm in custody in my own home. It was so nice when you were in the hospital to not have to worry. I'm guessing to not have to worry. I'm guessing it's supposed to say worry right here. Worry about anything.
Would believe him. On that point,
Ain't gonna lie. Yeah. He knew it was over with. He knew. From the text messages, looking like he knew that she was done with him. Ain't gonna lie, she was done with him, and he knew that, so he was finna go take her out. Ain't gonna lie.
at least, he was right.
But for what? I don't know why. That's just crazy.
Though prosecutors initially
said, please don't do this. I know I ain't messed up, but I have nothing else but you. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? And what the fuck do I have? I want a normal life. Hey, shit. And what the fuck do I got? I want a normal life again, nigga.
Sought the death penalty. It was eventually waived.
That's what she wanted to say.
Sean had once told Alyssa,
so I will give you life back, but I need to get some kind of plan together first. You've had plenty of time for that.
He wanted to die, but instead, he received a different fate. In September 2021, after a week-long trial at the Craighead County Courthouse, a jury convicted Sean Gregory Cohn of capital murder. He was sentenced to life without parole for Alyssa's death. Additionally, he received 32 years for charges including abuse of a corpse, theft of property, and fraudulent use of a credit card or debit card. Sean Cohn would never see freedom again.
They got life added 32 years. Boy, gang, you might as well fuck all the niggas you can in that bitch. Go ahead, get you some little butt while you in that motherfucker, boy. Cause boy.